we're doing that?
Yeah.
Well, we're having a video.
It was a great camera, isn't it?
I know it's all theatre, Peter. Can you just describe your farm? Hugely impressive. Just give us the elevator pitch about your farm, because I'm so proud for you for what you and your team accomplished.
Just a summary of it.
Yeah, please.
So, we're farming about 1,250 hectares of deep black Fens soil, which ranges from between 1.5 metres and 3 metres in depth. It's ring fenced, and on that farm we are growing around about 550 hectares of lettuce, 160 hectares of celery, 250 hectares of radish, alongside potatoes, onions and wheat.
Okay.
And the farm is unique in the sense that it's deep peat that we've invested heavily in drainage at 10 metres, so ordinarily a normal farm...
10 metres?
Yeah, absolutely. So normal drainage would be 20 metres apart, we're at 10 metres apart. And also we've got relatively small field sizes, which enable us actually through a system of ditches and dikes, of which we've got about 80 miles of them across the farm. We're able to manage the water levels in those ditches and dikes to push water back up through the drains and create a water table within those fields. And so we can hold a water table at about 50-60 centimetres below a growing crop and provide much of that crop's needs in terms of water from underneath, which has its advantages in terms of reducing the evaporation. It's much cheaper in terms of diesel, in terms of we're not having to pump copious amounts of water over the top of crop. It's healthier in terms of the crop has always got access to that water. It's not a boom or bust scenario. And of course it actually enables that crop to grow with a lower disease pressure in times of wet weather.
What Peter, I was earwigging some of the conversations that you're having in the field and in the tranny van on the way back here as to how you're adapting, like the way of your topping instead of disking on the likes of celery. But longer term, where can you see your farm developing, especially with the likes of the Fenland soil trial that we're looking at? Say 5 years, 10 years out, how will your farm have developed by then?
I think it's a really interesting question. I'm not sure I know completely the answer to that in terms of where we'll end up, but what I do know is that we've got to be really cognizant of the fact that we have got a carbon store within our soil, and therefore we have to change the way we cultivate and work our land and manage our water tables. And by that I mean we've got to really reduce the amount of aggressive deep cultivations that we conduct in our soils in order to change that oxidisation process and reduce it. That combined with managing water tables more proactively and starting to improve our infrastructure to be able to do that. I believe we can absolutely fundamentally change the amount of carbon that we release from the soil.
Okay, well done. For those farmers who are just starting this journey, whether that be in the UK or internationally, you're a leader in your field. What would your advice be as to how they can start this journey? How can they learn from you? What would your advice be to them, please?
I think I would say they've got to learn what works on their farm. We're pretty unique with the farm that we are lucky enough to work on, in that we've got this depth of peat and we've got this infrastructure in terms of the sub-irrigation system, the drainage network and the water. That isn't what everybody can say in terms of their farm. So they've got to learn what works on their farm, but fundamentally go out and look and see and understand what others are doing, invite people in and learn about what you can fundamentally change within your farming system to try and impact the amount of carbon that we release.
Well done. And I think it's brilliant that you've been so collaborative in what you're doing, and Fenland Soil. Just to wrap up, come on, what's your favourite fresh produce?
Favourite fresh produce? Radish. Very long.
Well done, Peter. Thank you.